One morning before his classes, Charles reads various news pieces out loud. Wouldn't it be better, Charles, if you read them like normal people do? Oh, I thought you'd find them interesting. Can't get too isolated, so... I did, at first. But you see, it's been 15 minutes now. I've got what I need from today's news. As if he had not heard a word of what I just said, he goes on. Look. No, Charles, I can't look. I'm on the sofa, and you're over there. They're looking for talent. A new music startup is. How about no? He reads a part of the ad out loud. Lion Star aims to do charity touring while spreading a message of peace. Not you, me. So self-centered. Well, I'm sorry. It was an obvious assumption. I'm not good enough to audition? That's not what I said. I'm joking. But careful with your words. Wouldn't want to offend me, right? He's obviously right. With that annoying grin on his face, I'm thinking perhaps I would. Well, I'm off then. See you later, so... Charles puts the paper in his backpack, gets up and walks towards the hallway. Bye. Have a nice day. Why, thank you. You too. A nice day doing what exactly? The door is closed. The lock turns. Charles has left the house. I guess I'll wander around. The weather is cold, sunny, and pleasant. Typical winter's day. Same as yesterday and the day before. Lately, all my days seem to warp into a single, very long one. You're a loser, Sophie. Get some hobbies, will you? Really, though, I need something new in my life. What do you do when you have no responsibility towards anyone or anything when life owes you nothing and you owe life nothing? You wander, don't you? Aimlessly. But you know what? I don't really mind. That's not the full truth, though. Sometimes I actually do mind, but other times I feel just fine. It's a vicious, conflicting circle. The white main street. The usual snow-laden trees. A crossroad of interactions. I could run into anyone. If the right stars align, I could literally run into anyone. People that know me, people that are interested in me. My union with Charles proved just that. Did I return because I knew? Was the reason I came back here pure and simple loneliness? Was I secretly hoping to be welcomed back? As I think these things to myself, while putting one foot in front of the other, staring down at the crusty layers of snow, I see someone familiar to me among the crowds. Hello, Sophie dear. Hostess, hello. Call me by my name, dear. We're not at the cafe right now, are we? You're right. But I don't think I've ever learned her name. She sees right through my nervous expression, and her next course of action proves just that. The name's Henrietta, but people call me Etta. She emits an aura of wisdom and leaves me polite. How odd to see you out here, Etta. Odd, you say? Is that your way of telling me I overwork myself at my delicate age? I'll have you know I'm on break right now. There may be some truth to that, but really, I was just surprised to recognize someone. Not to mention you're not wearing much. Are you that much of a social recluse, dear? You should have meant that as soon as possible. As for my wear, I get hot easily. Getting lectured on life by someone over twice my age, midday, mid-street. Really not the kind of thing I thought would happen waking up this morning. Don't stick your nose where it doesn't belong, she thinks. Well, I only mean you well. No, I actually didn't. In fact, you're right. Etta makes a calculating expression, appearing to be pondering something. Sophie dear, do you want me to go on a short stroll with this old lady? I'm taken aback by her request. The one thing I do have is time. She grabs my hand and smiles. Marvelous. Let's go. 15 minutes until my daughter will scold me for being late. Despite the time limit, we walk at a leisurely pace. As we move away from the city center, the noise gradually dies down. She leads me to a familiar scene. This old lady needs a break. She sits down on a bench and I follow. Have you been here before? I have. I see. I imagine the cafe is where you come to relax, but I can't. Not the same way as you. For obvious reasons, of course. I come here for that too. It's nice. Mostly, I just end up getting jealous of the people here, though. How so? For a brief moment, I get the feeling it was an odd thing to share with someone you don't know too well. Well, they all seem to know where they're going and why. Even the most simple reasons seem like good reasons to me. That's sweet. So you could use some direction then. I can't help but chuckle. Sure, I guess that's exactly it. Well, in that case, how would you feel about being offered a purpose? I scoff, then chuckle. You don't need to explain, I can tell. You're directionlessly strolling around in the middle of a workday without a care in the world. I know exactly what you need. You see, I'm getting old. I could use someone to help out at the cafe. In that moment, I felt joy. A nervous tingle turns into joy in a second flat. A warm sensation spreads across my chest. I try to convince myself I misinterpreted her, but... You want me to work for you? At your cafe? I'm overjoyed, but I try to contain it. She sees right through me as usual. So let's say yes then. I give up trying to conceal any kind of emotion. It's pointless trying to fool this lady. A beaming smile. I think I'd really like that. I'm glad. Don't stress it, dear. I did consider what might happen to someone like me working in such a public place, but I was far too ecstatic to even consider turning down Etta's offer. It was the right choice. I just knew it. I felt it in my bones. And so I had finally reached a new chapter in my life. To think in such a random and impulsive manner, too. Life sure is strange at times. It never stops saying curveballs your way. And like always, I might have suspected all that and more, but I didn't truly know what this addition to my life would bring me. In hindsight, a little bit of everything, good and bad, but ultimately without regret. The warm orange of evening. Everywhere, work, responsibilities, and the duties of the day, all winds down and putters out. Footsteps range in the snow. They go their ways. In this period of time, you can distinguish between two types of walkers in the snow. The zombies and the nocturnals. The former usually the world-weary businessman slinking back from whatever corporate machine has run him down. And of course there's me. Not even 30 years old. Yet I'm returning from a long day of carefree strolling, including hanging out with an elder lady on her lunch break. Some people spend all their life trying to be mature. I had my maturity handed to me with a wrecking ball. Now I'm 3 feet past the nursing home and 1 foot in the grave. And yet with someone like Etta, it feels like she'll never fly past 20 despite all the wrinkles in her face. Some fountain of youth must have burst inside her. But as wrecked as I feel, there are some things I'm thankful for. Like being offered a purpose once again. For once, I'm ecstatic about the prospect of a long day of labor. How the tides have turned. Before that, though, comes the weekend. Hey, Charlie. That's not my name. Deadpan. He's cooking in the kitchen with his back turned to me. Smells like pasta. I lazily lean against the kitchen table and call out in a sultry voice. Hey, Charlie. He keeps quiet. Guess what? Keep that up and you're going to ruin the al dente-ness of this pasta. Still deadpan. For some reason he doesn't seem very talkative today, but I decide to keep pushing. No really, guess what? You saw a cat again. I recall that being the highlight of your week not too long ago. I got a job. And by the way, your pasta has never been al dente. Never ever in all the times I've tasted it. He turns around. You lied to me? That's what you're concerned about? But what about all those encouraging affirmations? Encouraging affirmations? The only affirmations I remember giving you were blasé nods to soothe your overblown ego. Charles crumbles to the floor on his knees. There goes my plans for Michelin star chefdom. What Michelin star chefdom? Weren't you aiming to be a musician? Just think. A Michelin star musician, cooking with his hands while playing a guitar with his feet. That's not a Michelin star chef nor a musician. That's just a freak show. Who cares? Freak shows make money. Your pasta's getting overdone. He stands up immediately. I knew it. You had it out for my pasta all along. Yeah, clearly I'm the mastermind around here. But it looks like the pasta is safe. Charles breathes a sigh of relief. let's set it to a few minutes more. Low heat. So what's this here? I hear about you getting a job? Oh, so you were listening? Where is it? A cafe. That turns into a bar when evening hits. That's out of character, and boy, your employer is in for a surprise. Hey, what's with that tone? Just because you think I'm some sort of royalty, and is it really that out of character? I can't imagine you of all people dressed up in an apron serving. Dressed up in an apron, breaking plates, causing adversity, though. That's my Sophie. Ass. Where is this place anyway? You'll never know. I can just stalk you there. The moment I see you within any couple meters of the premises, I'll make sure I stand ready at the entrance of the full pot of boiling darkness, fit for splashing. Charles laughs, clearly not taking my threat seriously. How dare he? Then he returns to his pasta for a while. Silence reigns. Joking aside, there's some sort of tension. What was the attitude earlier, though? What attitude? Somewhat serious. Somewhat too serious. For me? For Charlie. He exhales deeply. Charlie does what Charlie wants. You returned somewhat late today, didn't you? Did something happen? Charlie, don't talk. Silence. It really is impossible to keep things from you, huh? Whatever. He exhales once more. One of the teachers offered to give me private lessons after school weeks ago. He believes in me. I see. Lessons. Been there, done that? I replied one, but ignored two. I said yes. I've been giving it my all. A cold sensation. I've only heard Charles play once or twice. I wouldn't say he sucks, but I haven't heard anything grand yet. Charlie's playing Mozart with a budding Beethoven. Stop that. My voice is rife with cynicism. I tone it down. I feel torn, and I'm sure it shows too. That's why I didn't want to say anything. You always get on the edge. Who's on the edge? Me? So-so is on the edge? I know you think the industry and everything it stands for sucks. I never said that, and so-so don't lie. But that's where so-so stand, and Charlie know. So-so burnt her vocal cords singing soprano. Then, with a click, he turns off the burner. And Charlie knows when the fire stops. I sigh. Fine, do whatever, like hell I care. You don't like it, as expected. But at least I have something to strive for. Grass is always greener, yada yada, kindly spare me. The grass, it's dirty black from where I'm standing. He pours the spaghetti into 2 plates and dollops both the sauce. Enough about dirt, time to eat. The air is stiff with tension. At the dining table, both of us eat in silence. And I want to chide him for his naivete. I want to tell him he's going at it wrong. All the wrong paths. Everything I've learned. All the hard knocks I've received. Every single time the topic is brought up. But he simply won't see what I see. So let's leave it at that for now. I twirl up spaghetti on a fork and put it in my mouth. Maybe this'll shut me up. He does as well. And simultaneously, no way. No way. The taste is perfect. The texture is perfect. The soon-to-be Michelin star chef did it again. A proud smile shows across the complex feelings on his face. I told you, Charlie don't cook so bad. A pleasant end to the day. Good job today, dear. Thanks. The bell rings as I walk out of the door. A strong tint of orange spreads across our town. Evening. The day had finally come. I just finished my first shift at the cafe. It went okay, or so I keep telling myself. I messed up orders, dropped plates, gave customers the wrong change, to Charles's delight if I were to tell him, I'm sure. Not that I will. I'd sooner die. Edna says it's fine. That's how everyone starts out. I was nervous, but did my best to remain calm. But you know what? More than anything, this cafe already feels like a second home. It did prior to this, even. I turn around towards its facade once more. The coziest cafe in this town. I'm convinced of as much. I start walking home. As always, sharp noises are created by my boots meeting solidly packed layers of snow. In the year and a half since I returned to this town, Not one day was ever this hectic. Now I'm reuniting with people from my past, befriending the local cafe owner and getting hired by her. If you were to ask me what I did during my first year here, I doubt I can name a single thing. Thinking further about it, I slept, ate, drank, wandered aimlessly. I still do these things, but my heart feels lighter now. Am I moving towards a brighter future, I wonder? Now that would be something. Ever since he moved in, Charles rarely got home before me. Now, however, with this new responsibility of mine, I almost always return later. I'm home. Hey, I hear his voice from the kitchen. I take off my coat and walk into the living room. I brought bread. Oh, that's great. Unfortunately, I'm heading out right away. Drinks with important people. According to my teacher, at least. He shrugs. Oh, you can come, if you want to, that is. No, I'm good. Tired and all that. I'm exhausted. The last thing I want to do is meet important people. If it was any other day, maybe my answer would have been different. Alright, you have to tell me about your first day later, but I'd assume it went okay. Yeah, it went alright. That's where our conversation ends. Soon Charles has left the house once more. The clock reads 2100. I lie down on the sofa. My phone and earbuds lie down flat on the table. I grab them both. Insert the earbuds. Connect the 3.5-inch plug to my phone. Close my eyes. Colorful symphonies fill the world around me. They're just sounds, but they dance before my eyes, with the appearance of the many colors of the sky. My body relaxes in response to the pleasant compositions. A warmth runs through my body. I'm lulled by the rhythm of my pulse. The soundtrack of a life. My own life. One's physical and mental state decide the pace, but the symphonies won't end. Not until it's truly over. It's a wonderful phenomenon how music affects the state of mind. It can bring you to the most dreamlike states. The true soundtrack of your life is always there, though. You have just gotten used to its constant presence. Is my current soundtrack a good one? Something doesn't feel right. There's something sharp about it, but I can't pinpoint what exactly. It's almost as if it's wounded and needs to heal. A strange thing to say about something already strange, I'm sure, but that's the feeling I get. My playlist runs its course. At some point it ended, but I was far too occupied delving into the depths of my inner realms to notice. Music sure is wonderful, and I have left my contributions to this world. Were they really my contributions, though? I contributed, but were they mine? My inner being yells no. That's the last piece of information my consciousness registers before everything fades into white. Okay, this is getting a little jarring. I'm on the couch, lazing on my back, staring into my phone. Sophie? Scandal, scandal, scandal. Nothing but scandal and gossip. That's the internet for you. Everyone's getting closer and closer, close enough to peek into each other's pants. Close enough to make things uncomfortable. Sophie? Man falls in love with a 2D character. An idle one. Makes me wonder why I even bothered putting my whole 3D self out there. If any old flimsy poster can get a man's rocks off. Sophie? Just proves how utterly unreal the world is. Like that movie The Matrix? Everything's simulated and fake. A false connection. Was that all I provided? But sure, if that's how they want to cope with loneliness, if that's the narrative they want to buy, so be it. Probably does them more harm than good. More good than harm, I mean. Who was it that said the truth wins out in the end? People want the truth? You was telling the biggest lie of them all. Perfection is what they want, even if it's a lie. But if they're using these self-told lies as a means of isolation, if they're trying to cut actual people out of their life, then... Sophie! Huh? What? The shout caused me to jolt upright. Then I slid my head backwards over the handrest, causing my vision to go topsy-turvy. I see Charles defying gravity, his feet firmly planted on the roof of my vision. Earth to Sophie. Are your wires intact? Need any new hearing aids? Har har. Sorry I'm a bit out of it. I was trying to connect for the last 2 minutes. Must have really been out of it, like all the way to Jupiter. No, I was in the Matrix. What's up? You, heh. I googled your name. Scandal and gossip, those words flashed through my head. Now, why would you do that? To prove that you have a secret dark past that you weren't telling me about, of course. And lo and behold, I just found out that you were King Arthur in your past life. Isn't the internet amazing? I groan. Be serious. This is serious. Scared about your image? Don't worry, I haven't found out anything about those hidden corpses buried in your backyard. There are no corpses in my backyard, Charles. I'm just very edgy when it comes to anything concerning my image. I'm always edgy when it comes to that. Because I hate the person I used to be rings out in my head. Don't be such a paranoid Polly. I found a couple of rumors here and there. Then there's your standard trolling. Again, nothing about the corpses, but really though, you seem well-liked. Well-liked? Lots of fans out there. Lots of fan art too. They're not fans of mine. That's pretty harsh, but I'm being honest. There are people here and there saying that you were their favorite in the whole group. Be that as it may, but you're not listening. A slight rage bubbles. They're hers. Charles goes quiet. Hers. Hers. Come on, use your head, Charles. It's a persona. Nobody cares about the me behind the veil. I raised my phone at him. Look here. Man loves 2D idol. Great article. Now, what does that tell you about the world at large? I'll spell it out for you. You are what you project. In this specific case, an animation team was involved. They projected a stunning painted beauty for a whole slew of fans. And similarly, I painted myself. That's quite cynical, though. Even without all the paint, I still think you're the prettiest out of all of them. That stops me for a bit. Flattery gets you nowhere. That's not flattery, that's a fact. I sigh, then I continue. Read the comments, read the surveys. Why do they like the target of worship? What traits do they describe? One thing is for sure, certainly nothing that ever describes me. Innocent, sweet, an angel? What do you think happens when you become an imprint, Charles? When you have an image constructed, pasted into flyers, and pushed into the fray? There are a million empty, unfeeling, clay-molded clones of me walking around the world. They're nothing but dolls. Mere dolls. People play with them, give them names. And what are their roles? Simple. To act out scenes romanticized, idealized, and utterly, utterly fantastical. Those dolls become what they want to see. Utterly false, utterly rotten. I sit back up. I scroll through the blather. Scandal, gossip, scandal, toxicity is seeping out of my pores. The weight of silence heavy in the air. I expected to be the abrupt end of the conversation, the classic me overreacting. Then, I see what you're saying, but I disagree. It's simply not true. And even if it was, the artist paints to express himself. It might not be what they are, but what they want to be. Your videos exuded charm. Even if it passed through a million, a billion, a gazillion editors and beauticians. There's something that can't be faked. Or if it is, then I'm just deluding myself. Even then, that's still you. Some part of your dream, or the dream you used to have. So if people buy into that, why blame them? If it gets them through cold nights and days. That thing, monster, whatever you'd like to label it as, surely has more warmth and feeling than you describe it. Nobody warms themselves on a corpse. It's still you. Even if it's not owned by you, it's still you. A type of dream that's a nightmare only if you make it out to be. I sigh. Whatever. I don't want to talk about it anymore. That's all lame philosophizing anyway. Lame philosophizing, huh? Not that my brain would leave the subject alone after that. Once Charles and I had said goodnight, I went back to my room. Clinging to my blanket, wanting to sleep, and my brain decided to throw me a curveball. Or five, simultaneously. I started thinking back on how I even made it back relatively unscathed. What a strange word to use in that context. Unscathed. I always knew of a couple of key factors that set off a change in me, but my brain wasn't done with lame philosophizing for today. It was desperate to figure out why. And I couldn't stop it. I couldn't stop it at all. Darkness, cold, loneliness. Towards it all, where nightmares and memories would melt into one, I went. Spring 2012. After a long day's entertainment, I sit down in our tour bus. The air is still and musky. It's not been occupied for a while, nor will anyone return to it anytime soon. The reason? They're out celebrating. The pop songs still ring out in my head on repeat forever. And I will love you forever and ever. And I will love you forever and ever. And I will love you forever and ever. It's a form of brainwashing, but that's how we get by. It's how I get by. We could stop, though. We really could. I wouldn't mind. We've made as much as one needs to live a life in comfort. And beyond my now passing vanity, a desire for an entirely different life has begun to grow. They wouldn't like it, though. They. I run my fingers across my vintage wallet. I flip through the worn-out leather card holders and pull out a very specific card. Rounded edges, tacky, a false impression of prestige, and absolutely, completely disgusting. The first scout to ever give me attention. He said I was pretty and that my ability to sing was sufficient. Sufficient. You hear how that sounds? It's about as red as a flag gets. What would you expect? I was 12. I was 12. The card reads the name of the same company I'm still employed at. Same company, same manager. Good job, girls. All you have to do is keep going. A common phrase we'd hear. These words ring out in my head. Good job, girls. All you have to do is keep going. Good job, girls. All you have to do is keep going. Good job, girls. All you have to do is keep going. I wonder how many times I've heard them now. At least 100, surely. We have to keep going. Sophie, we have to keep going. I whisper these words to no one in particular. I look outside. Actually, no. I see myself reflected in the window. The outside is out of reach. Face full of makeup, hair done professionally. A doll. For whom? Inside my head, a small voice replies. Then an unexpected wave of rage quickly courses through my body. With my delicate hands, perfect nails, and smooth skin, I do something completely unbefitting. I firmly and relentlessly crush the business card in the shape of a ball. Knock knock. As if I had spoken to the devil, the very same scout, now manager, peeks in. Earth to Julia. Julia. My name is Sophie, as given to me by my mother. I look up with reluctance. The same disgusting grin. The same appalling, dissecting stare. Why are you still here? You should be out celebrating with the rest of them. I'm sure he can see the hatred radiating from my eyes, for he calls me out on it. Don't be such a grumpy grump. You'll ruin the others' fun. I smile bitterly without replying. He raises his eyebrows in belittlement and sighs condescendingly. You've got mail. He nonchalantly drops a small letter on the floor of the bus and heads out into the dark once again. I won't pick it up. The more I look at the tiny, unremarkable letter on the floor, the more it compels me. I hastily pick it up off the floor and get back to my original position. It's an unremarkable letter addressed to my full name. That's rare. Had this been fan mail, the recipient would have been my stage name. Furthermore, it has been stamped by the country's healthcare department. I tilt my head at it questioningly. Something flashes before my eyes. It's a crossroad. I use my thumbnail to slowly pry the letter open. A relatively long wall of text, and it reads, Dear Miss Sophie Kang, Anne Kang has passed away. At 8:24 p.m. on Sunday afternoon, her heart ceased beating. We have found no reason to believe this is the result of faulty conduct. The case is recorded as anesthesia-induced cardiac arrest as a result of the inherent risks within normal surgical procedure. We express our deepest sympathies for your loss. Sincerely, Hospital Director Helena Schwartz. Lightheadedness. That moment, the very moment I was informed of my mother's passing, would come to be a turning point in my life. The groundwork for my change had already been laid, but with this devastating news, it would soon become reality. With the letter in my shaking hands, tarnished by my tears, I went through an immediate change. The level of pain I felt for the first time in my life was shocking to me. It was undoubtedly unrivaled by anything preceding it. I felt a strong need to quickly accept it on a logical level, to not lose it on an emotional level. I was wildly unsuccessful. There was not only pain, but regret, anxiety, and mourning too. It all combined into a relentless force as it infested my very being, tearing me apart. Later that night, I picked up scraps of who I used to be from the floor of our tour bus, as I lamented loudly, still alone. The pieces I wanted to keep, I kept. The pieces I wanted to forget, I discarded. And so I found myself at a crossroad. Past, present, future, all so clear. But only one path shown. There was no way but that way. So I started walking down that road with newfound realizations inhabiting my heart. I couldn't see the end of it, so the ever-intimidating unknown was staring me in the face. It was scary. So very scary. Breaking free in the most painful manner. But truthfully, I wonder if it would have ever happened had my own mother not died on that day. There was no doubt, however. No doubt at all. It was my time. It was my path. Sometimes you just know. What's right, what's wrong, what can never become undone. And then it's time to act in order to not get trapped in the past. This was a moment like that. Not the first, not the last. But regardless of the past and the future, I'll never forget that moment. Never. My first week at work went by without a hitch. Yes, I'm purposely ignoring the fact that I broke several plates and that I was the subject of a slew of other mishaps. Never mind, let me rephrase that. My first week at work went by and I feel great about it. Ada told me I should try to get better at positive thinking, so I'll try that. Today was like any other day. I'd come in the morning, get changed, assist with the baking, prepare for opening, and attend the register for most of the day. Ada and her daughter had given me responsibility. More specifically, the responsibility of being the one to meet and greet the customers as they trickle in. On this day in particular, there was an unusually heavy workload. Normally, we'd get by with them mostly baking and cooking and me hanging around the register. But today's arms were being stretched all around me, and more than anything, I felt like I was in the way. I hadn't quite picked up the efficiency required to flawlessly manage a hectic day like today. I nervously gave a young beautiful girl, her change back as she gave me a soft smile. The line behind her was growing increasingly, and so was my anxiety. I'm sure she knows as much because that's when she started talking to me. I think you'd better recount these coins. She spoke to me in the softest voice she could muster, I'm sure of it. Her eyebrows were slightly raised, and in general she gave off a sickeningly friendly expression. I looked down at my hand. The change I was trying to give her would have paid for her coffee tenfold. My cheeks get warm. I'm so sorry. Don't be. You'll pick it up. You're the new girl here, Sophie, aren't you? That's me. I see what he's saying now. You're so pretty. Now can I at least say I've had coffee served by you? Among bustling customers on the busiest day of work so far, a beautiful girl with a round face framed by golden curls tells me I'm pretty. A calm not present a moment ago takes place within me. I can only look at her entrancing sapphire eyes. Thanks. I can't help but chuckle due to the sheer absurdity of the situation. And whoa, your smile and laugh are beyond gorgeous. Now my entire face feels warm. I'll be back later for a chat, if that's alright with you. But I would like my change back before I go. I snap out of my trance. Of course. I put the correct coins into the girl's delicate palm. See you. She turns around and I stare at her back as she moves out the door and onto the street. During my lunch break, I couldn't get the girl out of my head. In hindsight, it's obvious she was merely starstruck, but it took me a while to realize. I guess I need to prepare myself for these types of happenings. I've stuck to myself for so long since I moved back here that the idea of being recognized was turned into something to be feared without thinking about why. exactly people would recognize me. I planned it all perfectly. My precious Sophie. Next week, on this very same day, we'll finally meet. And you'll fall for me, as hard as I fell for you. I can't wait for us to be together. I'll even dress up for the occasion. Aren't I kind? You'll never see me coming. Like a prince out of a fairy tale, I'll step out of the shadows and into your life. I'll blow you away. However, first, I'd like some proof of your being genuine, of your purity. I've been so careful, tactful, patient. I mustn't rush it now. I'll execute it well. It has got to be just like this. I look down at the black bag in my lap. Yes, one step at a time. Well timed, prepared. Be patient, sweet Sophie. I'll soon be yours. Just hang in there. Very shortly we'll be forever happy together. I long for the day we have kids. You'll be a stay-at-home mom, and I'll be the reliable breadwinner for you all. Aren't you lucky? And your eyes, they will only see me. You will admire me, look up to me, desire me. I'll take you under my wings. I'll make you mine, and preserve you the way you are, flawless and pure. You'll rely on me, and you will need me, through good times and bad. I'll give you all the love you deserve, my sweet Sophie. As soon as I made us some memories to look back upon during times we can't be together, we'll meet promptly. So, be patient. I hang the bag round my neck and head into the cold. It's time. Another quiet evening. Charles hasn't returned from his lessons yet. Today, he's taking longer than usual. I'm bored and desperate to find something to distract me from the nothingness. My stomach rumbles ridiculously. I'll go and grab something to eat, then, and maybe I'll have a few drinks on top of that. I'll walk around for a bit, see what looks good. I arrive on a street with various restaurants and pubs, some even both. As I stroll past them all, I think to myself that they all look pretty inviting. But something catches my eye. In its direction, quietness. Behind me, music and chatter. It's a solid wood door, and the windows have a thin frosting covering them. It's too blurry to see inside. There's something mysterious on the other side, though. I'm certain of it. It's calling for me. On the other hand, it does seem pretty dead. Maybe one of the other popular ones would be more fun.